Hi there and welcome back. Today I wanted to talk about negative thought patterns and how they impact our lives, as well as how to pull ourselves out of these negative patterns of thinking. So sometimes these negative thought patterns can be quite sticky and hard to unwrap ourselves out of. When something becomes so ingrained and so a part of your life, it's hard to become aware of them, for one, and for two, untangle yourself from them. They say that we tend to think the same thoughts as the day before. Sometimes this can be a good thing if you have good thought patterns implemented and perhaps you're practicing affirmations and looking at the positive sides of life. However, you may find yourself on the opposite side of that spectrum and you may be thinking negative thoughts and divulging on negative thoughts that aren't productive and aren't allowing you to progress. So negative thought patterns can look different for every individual. Some people are insecure about certain things in their lives, and those are the negative thought patterns that tend to prevail. So say if you were insecure about your looks, you might think I'm not pretty enough, or if you're insecure about your intelligence, I'm not smart enough, etc. The theory that I've heard when it comes to your brain is the more that you are thinking a particular thought, the more it kind of gets driven down and ridged down, and we get kind of used to these particular ridges that we fall into because they become so familiar to us, and they become kind of comforting in a sense. So in order to pull ourselves out of that, being aware of this can be helpful. You can find this awareness in meditation. I'm a big believer in meditation, and I do this myself every day for 20 minutes and sometimes more depending on the day. It helps you become aware of what you're thinking and also what you're feeling. Your feelings are a good indication on the deep-seated things that you will not become aware of because your subconscious mind is a little bit tricky at times. Meditation is extremely transformative because it kind of clears your slate, or it clears your mind and allows you to release the negative thoughts and feelings. It just allows you to find peace internally and shut that side off, the thinking off. If you're working through your self-esteem, maybe self-love is something you can meditate on, or maybe self-expression if you're dealing with social anxiety. A lot of these things that if you can pin them down, you know exactly where to focus and where to focus your aim on healing. There's a theory out there, if you're a big Joe Dispenza fan, as I am, that if you are focused on the past, you are stuck in depression. If you're focused on the future, you're stuck in anxiety. You're able to put yourself into the present, which is a lot of what meditation allows you to do, then you escape both ends of the spectrum. If you're stuck in the past, you're robbing yourself of any ability to fix anything because the past is done. You cannot mend, you cannot disrupt, you cannot change anything. So it kind of takes your power away in that sense. If you're fixated on the future with a negative loop thinking, it can be anxious thoughts like, what if I do not put myself out there properly? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I do the wrong thing? How will I fix it? Is there anything I can do to fix it? What if I just screw up? I have struggled with anxiety for an enormous amount of my life, and I still struggle with anxiety, a lot of social anxiety, and a lot of just general anxiety. Meditation has helped bring me back to the present, so I'm not so fixated on the future. I have also been fixated on the past too, and I've been very, very stuck in sadness or just kind of a depressed state. Meditation is one good way to deal with it. Another good way to deal with it that leads directly into this is affirmations. Personally, I like to do my meditation and my affirmations together. I will link one of my favorite creators down below. His name is Kenneth Soares, and you can find him on Insight Timer. I also let my kids listen to him as well because a lot of his affirmations are extremely broad and they're easy to accept and integrate into our lives. And I think affirmations can be helpful if they are personalized towards you, but I like his affirmations because they're very loving and kind and just kind of an intro to anything more specific in terms of affirmations that you might come up with yourself that are more directed towards what you want. Negative thoughts are kind of like negative habits, and oftentimes when you're trying to fix a negative habit, I personally have found swapping out the habit with something a little bit more loving or in the right direction. So if you are thinking a negative thought towards yourself, like take for example, if it's I'm not doing enough, well, you can change that with I'm always doing the best I can at the time I am at in my life with the information that I have available to me. So if you can try to just choose more compassionate thoughts towards yourself and then kind of work towards more positive affirmations that you can intake and integrate into your life. Journaling is also helpful for being aware of what it is that you're thinking and feeling. The type of journaling that I do is free-flowing journaling, where I just kind of put out my thoughts and feelings out on paper without any sort of judgment to what comes up. And this allows me to create a safe space and explore different thoughts and feelings. And then it also allows me to come up with the solutions to some of these issues as well. I do believe that your thoughts tend to become your actions, and your actions end up being your outcome in life. So your thoughts are extremely important. Asking yourself the right questions to dig yourself out of these negative thoughts are helpful as well. Running from the problem isn't all that helpful. These negative thoughts might be trying to tell you something about yourself, and in which case you can also seek out the help of a counselor as well. They ask you the right questions that allow you to dig a little deeper and to ask yourself these questions in the future, so you can kind of arrive at a conclusion a lot quicker. I think with the help of all of these things combined, I have successfully pulled myself out of any negative thought spirals that I've had. I think the biggest thing is just being aware that it's okay that you're having negative thoughts and feelings, but to try to seek out a resolution and to find a solution to these things that is going to work for you, and pull yourself out of these things, because you deserve a lot better